From Cleveland. I'm from Cincinnati originally, so we'll let that pass. A social network from Mac lets you crowdsource information and find maps from friends and experts. We got 5 minutes right there. We'll start with the beginning.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm the founder and CEO of Plotter. Last year I came to this great city for the very first time to attend South by Southwest. The problem, was that I had actually all these great recommendations from friends and all these cool places that I found scattered in multiple locations. I had some in my notebook, I had some in emails, I had some on Facebook. So I thought to myself, there has to be a better way for me to organize all of these locations on my phone. So I got to thinking, we have social apps and platforms for just about everything. We have Twitter to share our thoughts. We have Instagram to share our photos. We have Pinterest to share our ideas. But we don't have an app that lets us create and share maps. Well, it is until now. I'd like to introduce you to Plotter. Plotter is a mobile-first social app that lets you take all of your favorite locations and organize them onto simple and shareable maps. You can easily crowdsource maps from friends, and you can discover maps in the map room, which is what we like to think of as the App Store for maps. So a lot of the apps out there that focus on maps and locations right now, they focus on singular locations, where we focus on groups of locations. Let's take a look at some of the maps that I'm using right now on Plotter. I have a map that I'm using for my April trip to Los Angeles. I'm also using Plotter for house hunting. Instead of getting all these sheets of MLS printouts from a real estate agent, I'm actually having my real estate agent put recommendations on a map for me so I can drive around and actually look at all the houses on my phone. I can actually get recommendations in real time from the real estate agent whenever she finds a new one. You can see all my friends' maps that I've taken, also maps from the map room that I've taken. We have a really nice, simple view on the map screen. You can actually have a map that's one of my friends. It shows their picture in the pin. We also have a really friendly and easy to use kind of split view. So you can see all the active plots you have, and they're ordered in distance, so the closest one to you is first. We're pulling in Google Places data, so you can see photos, reviews, websites, store hours, all inside the app. This is actually a picture or a profile of my friend Chad. I can see all of the maps he's created. I can even see all of his friends and the maps that his friends has created. So this one map that he's created is Best Wings in Cleveland. And I'm looking at the list and I say, you know what, the best place that I've actually got wings in Cleveland is the Greenhouse Tavern. It's not even on there. I can easily recommend a plot to him. I just hit recommend a plot, I get my search box, type in Greenhouse Tavern, select it, and it goes right off his map. You can just actually simply add it or ignore it if you don't want it. So we think the power of crowdsourcing maps is going to be very powerful. This is the map room. For us, we're really trying to create an ecosystem where people can search, explore, and discover maps of just about anything. We're also really excited about the map room because we think it's our opportunity for revenue. We're building a platform where brands and businesses can actually log in and create premium maps. They can purchase featured ad placements in the map room, and they can actually offer contextual ads and specials to users who download that map. Right now, we're live in the iOS App Store as of last week. But we're also building an Android app and a fully functional website. We also have an API in the works, so consumers, brands, and companies can tap into the Plotter ecosystem. Where do you really need an upgraded map experience? Your car, right? So we've been talking to major car manufacturers about bringing Plotter to the connected car. So you create the map on one device and it will be saved everywhere in the cloud. Our team is the definition of agile. We've built Plotter in 4.5 months, and I really think that's a testament to how well we work together. As CEO, I lead the team in business dealings and product development. Chad is our technology guy, who's a tech wizard, iOS developer. Tim is our award-winning designer, and Chris is our operations guy, who really cracks the whip to make sure we don't miss a deadline. So for us, we're an extremely passionate team. We have local interest from investors. We're moving extremely fast. We have a ton of momentum. We're here today to look at all these partners and investors because we're looking to get faster, smarter, as we really try to redefine the social mapping experience. Thank you.
Wow, that's
Raised money yet? How much?
We've raised pennies. So we're bootstrapping here at South by, so
Glad to hear it. And how much money do you think you need to get into the big time?
We've done a lot of work. I think we need probably $1.5 million, $2 million, and that kind of ranges just on how big the team that we want to scale is to be. So we have plans basically in 3 areas to kind of grow. We obviously want user acquisition, people. So we want growth hackers, we want marketing and PR people. We want to get as many people as we possibly can. And the other area for just getting funding is product development. We're working so fast, but we can't get out into all these platforms. The team we have, we just need people, we need developers who can work on different platforms and just get all the features and functionality that we haven't even been able to get into Plotter as it is today, just in there. And the third thing is we want people to really look at the revenue model very closely from the start. I think we think it's important to look at revenue from the beginning. We can go out there and say, hey, let's create a great full-function map app, and we think we can do that, but let's also look at the revenue. Let's see how we can actually build a business section to this and start getting brands to tie on and use Plotter too.
I'll say the judges the trouble of asking you what your revenue model is. How do you make money?
So the goal is to have a business account. So a business, and we come from the advertising industry, so we have tons of contacts with large companies. And we think, and we even have some opportunities of them just trying to jump onto us right as we're kind of going and launching. So we think if these brands can log into the Plotter ecosystem, they can create premium maps. So it wouldn't be a lot of revenue, but we can actually take a percentage if they create a premium map for $1 if people download them. We think the big, the opportunity is the map room. We think if we can create a map room just kind of like an app store for maps, where we have featured maps, we have branded maps, we have editors picks. We'll kind of use that as like an ad store where you can actually go and buy featured placements. And just all of those featured placements adding up. I think we can get some. We have pretty good revenue models right now. It's getting to $3-4 million within a year. But also, it's kind of going the route of Foursquare is doing with their Sync and American Express deals. A brand can create a map and actually offer ads, specials, and deals that would show up on the map they created.
I'm a big fan of this idea and the concept, and so it's all going to really come down to the product execution. I just downloaded it, so I'm just playing with it. But I think we're on to something that could be quite big if you execute well on product and pay attention to what the engagement is with users. But we're doing my frustration is always when I find something on a map or I'm searching for something and then trying to get the directions to it. And if you can kind of do some magic there in terms of bringing a social layer to that, I think we might be onto something really interesting. My question to you is, what do you where are you based, first of all?
We're actually based like Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, and that's where you want to stay?
What's that?
And that's where you want to stay?
We really love Cleveland. I'm originally from New York, so I've lived in San Francisco, I've lived in LA. We think that there's an opportunity to actually kind of incubate and grow a tech atmosphere in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, we know we might not find all the people we need in Cleveland, but we think we want to be based there.
So I'm an investor in a company called Uber, and one of the interesting ideas could also be not just for companies like that, but others is almost a way to make Plotter into a platform that you can tie into. So if I'm going somewhere, it would be interesting to be able to see the Plotter points on the map.
Yeah, that's something that we totally, we've had probably 10 companies come up to us just after presenting yesterday and say, one of the interesting ones was a wedding website where they were saying, hey, we're creating wedding websites all the time for people to have out-of-town guests. Right now we're just using this very basic, simple, boring Google map that gets thrown on a website. If we have a tool, we can actually create a widget for them. And to think about all the store locators out there, they're all usually the boring Google or MapQuest integrations. We really want to create a full-featured widget, so you can create maps and display them on your site, and they're instantly in the cloud. So the person can go and download them on the phone, or they can pull them up in their car right when they're driving around.
I actually used Google Maps for my wedding, and it worked quite well. What is it that you do that's different that adds that layer? Because Google Maps allows you to create maps, it allows you to share maps, it allows you to recommend points to other people. What is the? You clearly see something that is different.
Yeah, so Google has My Maps, which is great. It works on a desktop. But when you pull it up on the phone, it kind of stops there. So we're really creating the first mobile app where you can take all those multiple locations and put it on your phone. And you can layer different maps on top of each other. You can share those. But we also think that crowdsourcing, kind of what we found out here being at South by, is that there really isn't anything else where you can actually crowdsource maps. So creating a map, posting on Facebook and Twitter, and all of a sudden, we just tested it, with our Twitter account this week, and we got probably 50 different recommendations for a map, asking for the best breakfast place in Austin.
One more thing. I would add the map room as like the first thing you see instead of just going to a blank map.
That's actually one of the things that we're currently developing. The problem for us is that our biggest enemy is time. We got here so quickly to release at South by that the two major things that we're going to be focusing on is really kind of opening up the social graph. That when you get the home screen, it's not just a blank map. You get there and you get your kind of feed of who's doing what. You can see the maps that are around you, or friends' maps that might be there that you might be interested in, and seeing different maps in the map room. Great.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the presentation. How many people are actually currently using Plotter? And aside from natural sharing and word of mouth, which this lends itself to very well, what other plans do you have for user acquisition?
Yeah, so we launched on March 1st in the iOS App Store, and since then, yesterday we had over 2,000 users. We're tracking them extremely carefully. I mean, we're on there every half hour looking at, we're using mixed panels, so we have down to the person and their email address, every second of usage in the app, what they're tapping on, what they're actually doing, and all those funnels tracked. So I think for us, that's clearly giving us first a validation that the features are working. We're seeing some things we have to improve upon, having that social graph and social stuff more prominent. For user acquisition, I think our goal right now is to try to get the map room in a place where we can start having brands that tie in. So if we can go to a big brand like Wendy's or Taco Bell and have them put an offer in Plotter, we think that people will see, I can download Plotter, and use the Taco Bell map, and they can try to actually get an offer. So I think that's kind of the other. That's one way to acquire users. Being in the marketing advertising industry, as well, is we kind of, we're marketers, we're advertisers. We really want to create this brand and get this brand story out there. We think we have a really interesting story to tell, and that's kind of, I think, what you're going to see next. Is a lot of videos and viral stuff.
Yeah. So one of the things I think a lot about is how do you get onto the home screen of a phone? If you're on the home screen, people will use you. It's kind of an indication of daily engagement, like repeated use. And if you're not on the home screen, people tend to forget about you. So, I guess my first question is, do you think people are going to have space for 2 map apps on the phone? Because they're going to have maps to know how to get from one place to the other, and then they'll use yours for trying to figure out hotspots and things. Is that what you think will happen?
Yeah, I think to answer that, I said this other day. It's like we have a really great mail app on our phones, right? But companies like Sparrow and Mailbox, they're able to come up so quickly and be adopted so quickly because they're making a better mail app. The Google and Apple map apps are great, but all you can do is either search or get directions. So we're really trying to go after people that can do more with their map app. Have social functionality, create multiple maps, and layer different locations on one map at the same time. I think that's the people we're going after. And I think being here at South by, we've had so many people come up to us and say, hey, I need this. This is a tool. There's one thing to create this social functionality where you can kind of share, have fun with friends, but we're trying to create something where you can actually use this as a utility to navigate the world. And it's not something you can do currently with other apps.
That's not 45 seconds.
Can you do directions for this too then?
Right now we don't have directions, but it'll actually